Yeah, once again, good morning to all the participants of today's call, sir. Starting from our today's guest, Wing Commander, then Brigadier Apte, sir, and Group Captain Das, sir. Then we have Wing Commander Kulkarni, sir, and Wing Commander Kawatri, sir, and our JW Patek, sir, and all other areas of today's call. Today we have a special guest, different from the other guests so far. So the guest who has been doing a lot of service to our serving personnel, like, particularly the brave hearts who sacrifice their life for the sake of our country on the line of duty, and about whom he has collected all the data and updated on his website that is known as Honor Point Foundation. So through that, he has already collected the details of more than 16,000 our fallen soldiers so far out of 26,000. Our brothers who sacrificed for the cause of our nation since independence. So it's a unique kind of thing. So we all should appreciate his passion for contributing back to the society by paying rich tributes to all our fallen soldiers. So we all, I think, let's all appreciate him and recognize his services. And the Honor Point, there's a online portal conducting paying tributes to all our fallen soldiers. So now, born and brought up in army family, our wing commander Afraz served in Indian Air Force for 25 years, starting from 1983 to 2008. As a technical officer in the AEL branch. So it's a unique effort from him it's a unique and unprecedented across our nation. He is the first person to take care of, to honor our honorable soldiers who laid their life for the cause of our nation. So it's something special there today. So our wing commander Afraz is blessed with two daughters, one doing already completed MBA in US, and the second daughter also become a lawyer in Google company. So our wing commander Afraz married another air warrior, Dr. Srimati Farah, who also retired from service as a wing commander and presently working in a multinational company as a doctor. So we are really inspired by your true story, sir. Taking care of our own brothers who laid their life for the sake of our country by bringing a kind of awareness in the society about our greatness of our people. So now I'd like to invite our Wing Commander Afraz sir to speak about his journey, briefly about the Air Force career, and thereafter his passion for doing this unique activity throughout our country. Let's all welcome him by saying, clapping, applauding our Wing Commander Afraz sir's entrance to this call. Welcome, sir. Unmute yourself and speak, sir.
For giving a brief introduction. Am I audible to all of you? In the last few years, I have got opportunity to speak to various groups all across the country. But this is the first time I am speaking to a group of ex-servicemen, exclusive group of ex-servicemen, which is indeed a great honor, and it is so wonderful to be back among own comrades. And I'm aware that you have been exposed to, or you have had interaction with a lot of war heroes so far, and who have shared their experiences in war and inspired you. But today's talk is going to be slightly different, because I am not going to talk what I did in the past. So it is not about the past, it is about the present. I'm going to tell you about what I am doing now and what is my vision for the future through this initiative. So in that sense, this talk is going to be slightly different from other talks so far. And I must appreciate TBR and Mr. Pathak who have taken this initiative to bring a series of talks, especially in this particular Swarnim Vijay Varsh, wherein we are celebrating the golden jubilee year of our victory in the 1971 war. So it is indeed a very great initiative. I really, really appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to give you a brief introduction about my initiative, Honor Point, and what we do and what is the objective. And then maybe TBR can ask me a lot of questions, whatever he has, and then probably it'll be open to all of you, and I'll be delighted to answer any of your questions, whatever you have. So, as he has already introduced, I come from a totally armed forces background. My father was in the army. My wife also served in the Air Force. My brother-in-law is still serving in the army. My co-brother also served in the army. So I have, grown up in army cantonments, and growing up in these military cantonments, I happened to visit various memorials. I'm sure you must be aware that there are over 200 memorials spread across the country. And these memorials are basically being taken care of by various agencies. Some of them are being maintained by Army, some of them by Air Force, Navy, and some of them are being maintained by civil administration. So there are many of them. And there is, of course, a National War Memorial, which has been inaugurated by Prime Minister last year, that you must be aware, near India Gate. But whenever you get to see, or whenever you get to visit these memorials, you only get to see the names of these soldiers, the service number, the unit, and the year of martyrdom. Somehow the stories are lost, and these stories are lost forever. And that was a thought which I was living with for so many years. And I always wondered what happens to these soldiers who gave away everything for the country. What happens to them? What happens to their families? We get to know, we get to see them maybe these days at least for some time on TV, and then maybe third day they're all forgotten. So this was a thought which was always bothering me, and always thought how to bring these stories into public domain and inspire the people of the country, because I always believed that these people have given their lives for the nation, and they have the stories which are so powerful, which can inspire the people of the country to do something for the country in whichever way, in whichever field they are working. Because you don't have to serve necessarily in the armed forces to serve the nation. You can serve the nation in whichever field you're working, but you have to have that spirit, you have to have that idea, you have to have that feeling to do something for the country, which is very important. That is what our objective is, to generate that national spirit, to generate that sense of belonging among the people of the country, so that they do something for the nation in whichever field they are working. So that was a thought behind this objective. And so I started working along with two more officers way back in 2015. So it has been 6 years since we started working on this. And of course, the other two officers, could not support me for long because they had their own commitments. But it doesn't matter. I got the support in the beginning, and then we actually launched in 2017 after working for nearly 2 years. Because a lot of work had to be done, because it was a huge task. It's still a Herculean task. And so we hired employees, we hired the office, and we started working on it, doing research, doing authentication of the data. So it took us nearly 2 years to bring it into a presentable form. And then we launched in 2017 after working for nearly 2 years. And it has been 4 years plus now after the launch, but still the work is going on. It is still a huge task, and we are still working, and it will carry on for many years. So that is the beginning of Honor Point. And there are many things to be told, because as I told TBR that I drink, I sleep, I work, I live only on a point for the last so many years, 24/7, 365 days. So there are many things which I can't tell, but I will try to summarize. That's why I have come with the presentation, so that the time can be controlled and I'm able to collate my thoughts. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult to keep a check on time. So now I'll show you a brief presentation which will go through the various activities of Honor Point, and then probably we'll throw it open for the question and answer session.
Okay, sir. Make your presentation.
Yeah.
I'll do the screen, sir. 1 second. Yes, sir. You can share now.
Okay.
Sorry for the delay.
I hope you all can see the screen.
Yeah, we can see, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So Honor Point is basically, as I said, how it came about, and how it germinated in my head, and how we actually put it into we implemented it, our idea, and it came into being in 2017, as I already told you. So it is India's only platform dedicated to the martyrs of our armed forces right from 1947 till date. So it is basically an endeavor to ensure that supreme sacrifices of our soldiers are not forgotten and are given their due place in the history of our nation. That is the whole objective. And what makes this Honor Point unique? It is basically a dynamic, expandable, in the format, and the pages, we keep getting information from various sources. So this has contribution from various comrades, their family members, their friends, colleagues, and their units and formations. So the information is updated on a regular basis to keep it contemporary, to keep it inspirational. So it has got dynamic pages. So the information is dynamically updated. It is living, breathing archive of significant events. Why I say that? Because you must be aware that every second day one soldier dies at the border, and for every military event, it is very significant in India's history. So most of the people, actually, especially in the civilians, they don't understand the significance of these sacrifices. Because they think that it is the military, and also the lack of interest in military history, because they think that military history is for military people. We don't have much to do about it. But it is my belief, and I would like to reiterate here, that military history is an integral part of a nation's history. All military events, they influence a nation's history. If you take the example of, say, 1961 Goa Liberation War, it was a military event. It was a military event where more than 3 divisions took part in that war. And it is a military event which changed the history of a country. That's how Goa, Damandi became part of the country. You take any Hyderabad operation, 1948 Operation Polo. Again, when all the political methods failed, it was a military operation which was launched. And in 2 days flat, Indian Army defeated the Hyderabad forces, and Hyderabad became part of India. And that's how it changed the history of our country. So all military events change the history of the country, and they are the integral part of our nation's history. That's how every citizen has to know about military history, and that is the importance of military history. So when we are collecting and putting these stories, we are actually adding, or you can say creating the pages of our nation's history. That is the importance of these events. And again, it is not location specific, as in the case of physical memorials. As I told you, there are more than 200 memorials spread across the country. There is a memorial in Pune. If you go, many people living in Pune, they themselves don't know that there is one National War Memorial existing in Pune. And of course, the people living outside Pune definitely would not know about it. And so that is a limitation of any physical memorial. So it is very, very location specific. So Honor Point, breaks all that barriers. You can access it from all over the world. In fact, we have many, many followers in USA, UK, and many other countries wherever Indians are there. So it can be accessed from anywhere, and the stories are reaching all over the world wherever Indians are there. So that is how it is unique. And it is not limited to any particular war, any particular specific unit or regiment, because most of the, if you visit the various memorials, they are dedicated to some particular war, some particular regiment, or some particular, maybe Air Force, or maybe only Navy, something like that. But this is dedicated to all the martyrs of our armed forces right from 1947 onwards. Okay. So what are our core areas of activity? So we put sustained efforts into 3 core areas, and we are very, very focused. We don't digress from our objectives. Though there are many things which are related to the armed forces, but we don't do everything. We only focus our efforts into only these three areas. The first, building this online repository of information for all the martyrs right from 1947. So it has been conceptualized as a Wikipedia of martyrs. So anybody in the country wants to know about any fallen soldier, this is the place to go. In fact, already there are many newspapers and TV channels and many media people are already using Honor Point to get the information. And that is what we want to make it, a one-stop shop for information for all the martyrs of our country. That is what, and we are continuously working for that. My staff is continuously collecting information, authenticating and updating. We are also being helped by various volunteers across the country. There are many college students, working professionals. We have tie-up with various organizations who connect with various volunteers with us. So there are many volunteers also working with us because, as I said, it's a totally not-for-profit organization. We have very limited staff. I can't afford to have very big team of people working. We are not getting any funding from anywhere. I'm putting my pension, I'm putting my savings into this, and that is what the passion is, and that's how we are running. And so we require a lot of volunteers. We require a lot of support from outside, so that we are able to do this Herculean task. So that is our first area, to create that repository of information of all the martyrs. Second area is creating awareness about these heroes, because creating repository of information is one task, but how do people come to know about them? So in today's world, as you know, there is an overload of information. Information is flowing or flying left, right and center from various media, and people consume information in different formats as per their convenience. Some people watch only TV, some people get information from newspapers, some people just listen to radio, some people go get on internet. So everybody consumes information in different ways. So it's a challenge how to reach out to maximum people in today's information age, when the information is flowing through multiple mediums. So we use every possible medium of communication to connect with people, because our objective is to connect with as many Indians as possible, irrespective of their caste, creed, age, education strata, or any wherever they are in all over India, in fact all over the world, wherever Indians are there. So we are using online medium like social media. So that is one of the medium. So we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram. On Facebook, we have more than 5 lakhs followers on our Facebook. We publish stories of martyrs on every day. Every day our stories are published on Facebook as well as Instagram. And hundreds of people read these stories, put their comments and all that. We also publish stories not only of martyrs, but also about their families. Like somebody's father, somebody's sister, somebody's wife, what they have to say now after 5 years, after 10 years, what are they feeling now? What do they expect from the people of the country now? Because people have forgotten them. So we publish their stories also. And we also publish some videos on martyrs, and also some informational video about some, on the raising day of some units, because army has different, hundreds of units and regiments. So we also want to create information about them. So like that we published, so that the people are connected with the pages, and they get information which are interesting also at the same time. And apart from social media, like you all know that everybody is not on social media. So we use various offline platforms also, like addressing various schools, colleges, corporates. I have addressed various schools, colleges, and we are also connected with various corporates, for their CSR programs, that you must be knowing about CSR programs. So we are approved CSR partners with Goldman Sachs, which is a multinational, and also JP Morgan Chase, which is also a multinational. And also we are in talks with many other companies to connect with their employees and create awareness about them. And also a lot of employees are volunteering with our organization. They're writing the content, or they want to help us technically in whichever way. We want people to get connected. That is the whole idea. Idea of getting volunteers is basically so that they should get connected with the cause, and they should come to know about these soldiers and their families. That is the whole objective. We also, apart from this, we also take part in outdoor events. Like we have taken part in Bangalore Marathon and Delhi Marathon. We also are associated with the various music shows whenever it happens. So we collaborate with different organizations, different medium. We're trying to use even the medium of music, TV. So we are also collaborating with TV channel. So we are collaborating with TV9 group of channels, wherein our program is coming on TV9. It is being telecast on every Sunday in 5 languages: Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, and Kannada. 5 languages every Sunday on TV9. Right now, the telecast is stopped because of shooting is not taking place because of the current situation. So the first program was telecast in March last year, wherein Defense Minister Mr. Rajnath Singh, he was the chief guest in the program. And after that, 6 programs were telecast in all the 5 languages. And the format is that the 4 stories of the martyrs are covered in that program with some chief guest. There is a conversation with the chief guest, and then stories of these 4 martyrs are shown. So that, and they try to get some celebrities so that the awareness is created easily among the people. So the first guest was Defense Minister, second guest was Virendra Sehwag, the cricketer, like that. That TV9 channel they organize. We give them the content, the whole idea, connect with them, connect with the martyrs' families, and everything we coordinate. Rest all is done by them. So you can see we are trying to use every possible medium of communication to reach out to as many Indians as possible. And area number 3. So third area is actually again collaborating with people, with different organizations and individuals across the country to do some programs for the benefit of these martyrs' families. Again, our approach is slightly different from many other organizations or which you may think of. We are not into the business of doing some fundraising for martyrs' families. No, not that. We don't believe in that, because our objective is very different. As I said, we want people to get connected with the cause, and there is a myth, or there is an understanding of, especially among the civil population, as if the martyrs' families are looking at the people for monetary help and all that. I'm sure you must be knowing that the martyrs' families are not poor. Okay, they are not looking at money. The government is taking care of them, their pensions and all that. But what they are looking at, people don't understand, and that is what understanding we want to convey, or we want to create that understanding among the people of the country. So we are trying to connect the civil society with these families, because we think, let me tell you that a country consists of basically 2 constituents. One is government, that is government of India, and other is people of the country. Government has certain responsibility towards these families. They are supposed to take care of their pensions and various schemes they put into action to help them. That is the job of the government, and we believe that government is doing its job. Government is doing its duty, what it should. But what, as people of the country, what are we doing for these families? Because these soldiers have given their lives not for the government alone, but for the whole country. So as citizens of this country, we also have certain moral responsibility toward these families. And that is the business, that is our business, to create that awareness among the people of the country, to make them aware of their moral obligation toward these families. And that is what we try to do. And when they realize, because they don't even know actually what are they expecting from the people of the country. And when they come to know what they expect, then that feeling of doing something for them and something for the country, that feeling is generated, and that feeling is very, very important. And that is our underlying objective. So our objective in total, or the underlying objective of this, is very, very large. It is at a national level. We are not here just to help only these 26,000 families, no. But through these stories, through this connection of these families with the civil society, we are trying to generate that sense of belonging, that's national spirit among the people of the country, so that they appreciate the value of this freedom which they are enjoying. They must realize that people have given their lives to preserve the honor of this flag, to preserve the freedom of this country. And once they realize that, then only that feeling is generated to do something for the country in whichever way they can. They can at least become good citizens of the country. And I'm telling you, I have seen this change among the people of the country when they realize that, because the freedom is not appreciated unless you realize the value of it. And once you realize the value of anything, you start taking care of it. Like some jewelry, something if you have in your house, you realize that it is very, very valuable, and that's how you take care of it. Exactly like that. Once you realize the value of this freedom, you will automatically think in doing something to preserve this freedom and doing something for the nation. And that is what our whole objective of this initiative is. And one more approach, what we take in this, it's a deliberate approach that we are not looking at any support from the government in this initiative. As I told you earlier, we believe that government is doing its duty. It is what is our duty, that is what we are interested in. So we are not looking at government for any kind of support, but we are trying to galvanize the civil society in this regard. That's how I keep interacting with all civil organizations, because our whole objective is to galvanize the civil society, make them realize their moral obligation, make them realize the value of this freedom, and make them do something for the country. So that is what our approach is. So we want all help to come from the people of the country and nothing from the government. Everything, all help, whether it is financial help or any other help, any other support, has to come from the people and not from the government. That is our total approach towards this initiative. So I will keep going on and on, because I'll stop here, because then probably we can ask. Because when you ask questions, probably a lot of things will come out. So now I'll just give you some brief details of our events which we have done in the last few years. So this is one program which we had done in Mumbai with an organization called Ample Mission. So this program was way back in 2017, where almost 20 families, martyrs' families, were flown from various parts of the country to Mumbai. And this organization actually, they took the whole expenditure of flying them into Bombay, keeping them, and also they took them around Mumbai. And celebrities came and honored them. So that is what I am trying to tell you, that our focus is to make them feel honored, make them feel respected, make them feel cared for, give them that feeling that country cares for them. That feeling is very, very important, and this feeling you cannot get just by giving money. No, money cannot get or give them that feeling. So we tell the organizations that make them feel honored. These 2-3 days they should remember in their lives, and they should feel that India has not forgotten the sacrifice and India cares for them. So that feeling we want to give them through various organizations, through various individuals, whosoever want to do something for them. And once they get connected with them, they also get a lot of ideas to do something for them. So as I said, not necessarily money. There are a couple of Supreme Court lawyers have connected with us. They said they want to help martyrs' families in their legal battles. They want to give their free service if they are facing any problem or any issues with any court or anywhere else. So at least that feeling has got generated. So that feeling is very important for us. A couple of doctors have come forward that they want to give them free service. So whether they take that service or not, that is not important. Important is that feeling has got generated in them. They felt like doing something for them, and that feeling is very important, because then they are thinking about others. They are thinking of doing something for the country, and that feeling is very, very important from a national point of view, because a nation cannot ask more than this from its citizens, that the citizens care for the country. That feeling is more important for any nation, and that feeling is getting generated. So similarly, another program which we had done in Gujarat, in Rajasthan, in Gujarat, in Surat, in collaboration with the Maruti Veer Jawan Trust. Again, this was a program on a very, very large scale, wherein more than 2 lakh people attended this program. I had the opportunity to address 2 lakh people in this.
To get connected with the public and.
Yeah. So and here, again, they were flown to Surat, and again they were given that respect, that honor, and they were taken around, and of course they were given monetary benefit also. But again, we don't focus on that, as I told you, but they feel like giving something because they are like guests. When you invite somebody, you feel like giving something, so that's fine. But our focus is not on money part at all. We want them to remember that treatment, remember those days, remember that those moments of honor and respect, which are very important for them. This particular program, actually, every family was given 2.5 lakh rupees, but that was not our aim. And this another program which we did in Mumbai in collaboration with Lodha Foundation. Again, you can see there are some film stars also came in that program, and again they were honored by film stars, and again they were taken around in Mumbai, and they felt really great. I'm sure they still remember those few days. Another thing which we are trying, as I said, we try to collaborate with different types of organizations because we have to reach out to different kinds of people. So this is another thing which we are trying, that this was program which was done in a village in Rajasthan, a place called Sefra Guar in Jhunjhunu district. By the way, I'm sure most of you would be knowing that Jhunjhunu district in Rajasthan is the district which has got the distinction of giving maximum number of martyrs to this nation. As of now, also more than 30,000 soldiers from this only one district are serving in the armed forces. So that is the contribution of Jhunjhunu district. So we had this program where this program was organized. This was unique because this was organized by a martyr's family. So like I know many martyrs families, they are doing wonderful job. They are so inspirational. They are inspiration for me actually, because they have lost their everything. Like this particular Lieutenant Kiran Shekhawat, she is the first naval officer to die in harness, and they have lost their daughter. But instead of cursing everything, instead of sulking, and instead of cursing God or circumstances or nation or anybody else, they have taken the tragedy in their own stride, and now they have started an organization called Lieutenant Kiran Shekhawat Foundation, and this foundation conducted this program. So I gave them this idea, and so they are trying to organize this program where they honor other martyrs' families. In fact, they gave 11,000 rupees to each martyr's family. That is such a great, what a great initiative. Look at the spirit of this family. So like this, there are many other families. So they are so inspirational actually. So you come to know that such people, such good people exist in this world. So this was one program which we did in Rajasthan. Then this is another program called Samarpana. This is again, we have connected with the student organization now. This is in university, PES University in Bangalore, where there is a student organization called Samarpana, and they, in that, along with them. So we invited martyrs' families from Karnataka. So these are all martyrs' families, which you can see. And so these students now take care of them. These students bear the expenses of getting them to Bangalore, put them in wherever they can, and then they take them around in Bangalore. And for 2-3 days, they are in Bangalore. These students are taking care of them. And that's how the awareness is generated among students. And that's what we want, because they are the future of the country. They got to know what is the contribution of these families, and what they have suffered, what they have gone through, and they should know, they should understand what do they expect from the people of the country. So this is one initiative which we are doing with the student organization. Again, this is another Rotary Club in Bangalore. So every Rotary, there are many hundreds of Rotary clubs. So we are associated with various Rotary clubs also across the country. Every Rotary Club, they have installation ceremony every year, because where their management changes. So that happens in every Rotary Club. So this particular Rotary Club, we are associating with them, and every year whenever their management changes, they have a program called it installation ceremony. So in every installation ceremony, they call 2 to 5 martyrs' families, and they honor them. And whatever, if they want to give any money, every time they give some money also, 21,000, whatever time. But look at this initiative. So that's how we are encouraging various organizations to in whichever way they can get connected with the family. This again we had done again with the Lieutenant Kiran Shekhawat Foundation in Delhi, wherein we had this program in Kargil apartments. Maybe some of you must be knowing, in Delhi there is a place called Kargil apartments where most of the Kargil war heroes, the families of the fallen heroes, are staying. So we had an interactive session with them, trying to understand what they're looking at, what are their problems, and how can we help them. This is another program in Mathura, again in collaboration with another organization called Mission Possible. There are more than 100 families of martyrs staying in Mathura. So we connected with them and had interactive session and trying to help in whichever way we can. This was again, as I said, we try to take part in various outdoor events also, because as I told you that we have to get associated with different organizations and employ different methods to connect with people. So this is a marathon which we had organized in Bangalore, Run with Jawans. If you can see on the board, which is written Run with Jawans. So actually we connected with the army units in Bangalore, and army Jawans, they ran with the people. So more than 5,000 people took part in this marathon, and a lot of awareness was generated. So it was a great event. Apart from that, as I said, we also we try to use the medium of music. So we are associated with an organization called Alive India Music Foundation based in Bangalore. So they get various artists from Mumbai and other places. So this was one, Amit Trivedi, the famous Bollywood singer and music composer. His show was there. He performed in support of Honor Point in Bangalore. So a lot of awareness was created. This is another show with Mohit Chauhan. You must have heard his name. Is again Bollywood singer. So this was, you can see in the background, you can see Honor Point website is flashed. So again, this was a huge show attended by thousands of people. So a lot of awareness was generated about Honor Point in Bangalore. We also took part in Delhi Marathon. So this was again a huge event in Delhi, which takes place. This is supposed to be not India's, in fact, I've heard that it is world's biggest half marathon. So this is known as ADHM marathon, which is sponsored by an international organization. So we took part in that. A lot of people ran for Honor Point, creating awareness about Honor Point in Delhi. That was in 2019. So apart from these are just glimpses of some programs. Apart from that, very small programs we have done. So apart from that, we also conduct, this is our flagship event. We conduct events on all India basis for school children as well as for college children. So this is our flagship event called Rang De V. This we have been doing it for last 2 years. This is the third year we'll be conducting. And again, here we are involving the school children, because as I said, the youth and young children are our major client, I would say, that they have to be told about these stories. They have to be made aware of these heroes. So this is a program conducted. It is an online painting competition called Rang De Veer. It starts from 26th July, that is Kargil Divas, and ends on 15th August, that is Independence Day. So we are trying to connect both these days of our nation's history and trying to create awareness about the significance of both these days among the school children. And of course, the theme is the fallen heroes. So it has been a great success. In fact, thousands and thousands of schools participated last year. All the Army public schools across the country, all the Air Force schools, all the Navy schools, and thousands of other schools participated. We got entries in lakhs, and we had kept lots of prizes also. The prize money was nearly 2.5 lakh rupees.